Welcome to a very tired edition of the Dan Sports Tips MLB Daily Fantasy Preview Show for today, the 13th of September. I will be taking a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I'll be looking at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct our lineups to maximise point scoring potential, foundation players who should be used as the foundation for a winning lineup, and a value player at each position. For anyone that hasn't had the opportunity to sign up and play daily fantasy sports for DraftKings yet, I will pop a link in the description below this video that will enable you to do that today. The San Francisco, Los Angeles even was really a game worth staying up until 6:30 in the morning to see the end of, but I ended up watching Colorado and Arizona because I was sweating a satellite, which I managed to win a seat in, so all's well that ends well. Looking at starting pitchers today, pitching looks very hard today. I wanted to use both Danny Duffy and Jose Quintana, but there's a lot of rain forecast in Kansas City and Chicago. Looks a little bit too risky to hitch the wagon to either of those starters with an abbreviated outing is serious risk. That actually leaves very few options I'm comfortable with today. I mean, hell's going to freeze over before I pay the price for even Nova today. I did think he was usable until I saw the cost. The Nationals have hit Syndergaard pretty well this year, so I'm not happy to use him. Weather conditions at Fenway combined with the Orioles' power takes me off of Pomeranz. And Robbie Ray, who usually has strikeout upside, has been horrific against Colorado this year in every start he's seen them, which does leave us with very little else, to be honest. Marcus Stroman of Toronto for 9,000. The consistency of Stroman is a concern, but there is upside here because the Rays do swing and miss. He comes into this game off of a good start against the New York Yankees, despite the loss, and has been pitching better of late, going 1-3 with just a 3.38 ERA over his last 7 games. The spectrum of his starts against Tampa this year range from an 8-inning one-hitter with 9 strikeouts to a 5 2/3 inning horror show with 7 earned runs. The top end is obviously worth having, but Stroman is perfectly capable of killing your lineup almost as soon as you start today. Not confident, but that's the kind of day it is today. Matt Boyd of Detroit for 7,900. While he's not an elite strikeout pitcher, Boyd has just 73 strikeouts in 85 2/3 innings this year. He does come into the game with a 3-1 record with a 2.75 ERA in his last 7 starts. He last faced the Twins on He's faced the Twins, on 2 occasions this year, allowing 3 earned runs across 12 innings with 14 strikeouts on the season. That level of performance does get us close to the level of value that we'll be looking for that price tag. Jason Hamill of the Chicago Cubs for 6,800 just goes to show I'm struggling here a bit. What I can say about Hamill is that he has pitched well at Busch this year in 2 appearances that he's made, and is cheap enough to let you invest in a multitude of bats. To a degree today anyway. I mean, 7,000 still isn't cheap. His record of late doesn't inspire, going 4-3 with a 4.34 ERA in his last 7 starts, and he was awful against the Brewers last time round, allowing 8 earned runs. In St. Louis, he's pitched 13 1/3 innings this year, allowing just 2 earned runs with 19 strikeouts across those 2 starts. If you offered me 6 solid innings against a Cards lineup that was almost no-hit by Kyle Hendricks last night, I would take it in a flash. Stacks of the day today, I'm going to focus on 2 specific games for the stacks today, starting in Boston. Looking at the weather forecast, it is time to load up on bats at Fenway today. Get as many of them in lineups as we can. The wind is forecast to be blowing out at Fenway, and there's plenty of power on show. From a Boston perspective, they get to face Dylan Bundy. He's allowed 5 earned runs in 3 of his last 5 starts, one of which was against these Red Sox, with a couple of home runs allowed that day as well. Outfielder Mookie Betts for 5,500 is one of the Red Sox that's got a home run against Bundy. He's gone 313 with 30 homers and 23 steals on the year. First baseman David Ortiz for 5,500. He has the platoon against Bundy, gone 318 with 33 homers the year, including in back-to-back games he's gone deep. Outfielder Jackie Bradley Jr. for 5,000. He has the platoon and a home run against Bundy, 272 with 24 homers. He's got a couple of homers in his last 7 games. Shortstop Xander Bogaerts for 4,400 is a 300 hitter with 18 homers and 13 steals. And second baseman Dustin Pedroia for 4,700. He's hit 330 with 13 homers. He's batting 400 with a homer in his last 7 games. The other side of this matchup, Baltimore get to face Drew Pomeranz. He hasn't found the level of consistency, having been removed from the comfortable pitching environment of Petco, and with the wind blowing out today, a pitcher who has allowed 5 home runs in his 4 starts at Fenway, with at least 1 in every start, could add to that number today against baseball's home run leaders. Manny Machado can be used at third and short for 4,600. He has the platoon against Pomeranz. He's a 306 hitter with 35 homers. He's got 2 in his last 7, including 1 yesterday. Outfielder Adam Jones for 3,900 also has the platoon, 280 hitter with 27 home runs. He's hitting 317 with 6 homers very consistently over his last 30 games. Outfielder Mark Trumbo for $4,000 has the platoon. He's a 250 hitter, but he does have 41 home runs this year. Steve Pearce can be used at first and second. He also has the platoon. He's very good against the left-hander. He's 288 with 13 homers on the year. And second baseman Jonathan Scope for 3,300. He also has the platoon, 271 with 23 homers on the year, 2 in his last 7 games. Mentioned at the top of the show, I watched Arizona and Colorado yesterday. Arizona showed what they can do to a lefty pitcher. It's pretty much a standard stack for me to play when they do so. Jorge De La Rosa is up for the Rockies today. He has been pitching well in all fairness lately, including shutting down these Snakes at Coors Field a couple of starts ago. But with Arizona piling up double digits yesterday, I'm happy to proceed again. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt for 5,300. He has the platoon and a home run against Jorge De La Rosa. There's a 298 hitter with 20 home runs on the year. Brandon Drury, who can be used at third and in the outfield, is only 3,600 today. He has the platoon. He's hitting 275 with 12 homers this year, but he was swinging a really good bat yesterday, including hitting a home run. And as we saw at the start of the season, when he's on, he's very, very difficult to get out. Outfielder Yasmani Tomas for 4,400 is the reason with that Grand Slam home run that I won my satellite yesterday. He has the platoon and a home run against De La Rosa. 267 hitter with 29 home runs on the year. 310 with 2 homers in his last 7. Catcher Wellington Castillo for 4,100 also has the platoon, hitting 271 with 13 homers on the year. And second baseman Jean Segura for 4,300. He's a 309 hitter with 12 homers and 30 steals. He does have the platoon. He hasn't been... He's got a very low average over his last few games. He has been struggling, but he was unlucky yesterday. He had an awful lot of hard hit outs that on another day would have gone for a base hit, so I'm willing to put him in the stack as well. Colorado also racked up plenty of runs last night. They get to face Robbie Ray. He's a lefty, which normally doesn't profile well for Colorado, but he has struggled against them this year. He's allowed an earned run per inning on average consistently across all the starts. It's not one bad start. Every time he sees them, he's allowed plenty of runs. Outfielder Charlie Blackmon for 4,600 has a home run off of Robbie Ray. He's hitting 316 with 25 homers and 16 steals this year, and he has 2 home runs in the last 7 games. Second baseman DJ LeMahieu for 3,700. He has the platoon, 345 hitter with 10 homers, 10 steals. Third baseman Nolan Arenado for 4,600. He has the platoon and a home run against Robbie Ray, 291 hitter with 37 homers. And first baseman Mark Reynolds for 3,200. He's hitting 279 with 13 homers from the right side of the platoon in the matchup today as well. My foundation players at first, I will take Edwin Encarnacion of the Toronto Blue Jays for 5,400. He has the platoon advantage today against Drew Smyly. He's a 267 hitter with 39 home runs. In his last 7 games, he's batting 321 with 3 home runs. Second baseman Brian Dozier of the Minnesota Twins for 5,600. He is almost an automatic play at this point against the left-handed hitter. He has the platoon advantage today and a home run against Boyd. He's a 277 hitter with 40 home runs on the year. He's hit 300 with 5 homers in his last 7 games, including 1 yesterday. Third baseman Josh Donaldson of Toronto for 4,800. He's got the platoon advantage against Smyly, who he's hit out of the park 3 times. He's a 284 hitter with 34 home runs. He is hitless in his last 7 games, and that's not going to continue for long with the AL MVP, so let's try and get him a little bit of a discount today. Shortstop Jonathan Villar can also be used at third for Milwaukee. He's 4,700. The switch hitter's hitting 292 with 15 homers. He's got 53 stolen bases this year and has gone deep 3 times in the last 7 games. And outfielder Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels for 5,600. He has 3 home runs in 11 at-bats against Taijuan Walker. He's a 321 hitter with 27 homers homers and 25 stolen bases this year. My catcher, I'll take Jet Bandy of the Los Angeles Angels for 2,700. He has the platoon against Walker should the Angels be starting him today, and is capable of hitting the ball out of the yard. First baseman Victor Martinez of the Detroit Tigers for 3,600. The switch hitter is hitting 293 with 24 homers this year, 308 with a homer in his last 7. Second baseman Scooter Gennett of the Milwaukee Brewers for 3,300. Platoon advantage against Straley today, 264 hitter with 11 homers. Danny Valencia of Oakland qualifies at third or in the outfield for 3,500. He has the platoon against Danny Duffy. He's very good against lefties, 291 hitter with 16 homers. His teammate Marcus Semien at short is also good against lefties. He's only 2,900 today with the platoon against Duffy, 232 hitter with 24 homers, and he hit one yesterday. And I'll finish up with outfielder Nomar Mazara of the Texas Rangers for 3,600. He has the platoon advantage against Brad Peacock, who's only making something like his second or third start. 270 hitter, 17 home runs on the year. That is what I've got for you today. Best of luck with your lineups, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video, hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today, and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video, and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups, and have a great day.